I went back and forward 30 times. And I decided that if this will be a reality and I really start to build, I would take my son, my brother, his 2 kids, and move down here and really be here, because I so believe in like everything is energy.
Yeah.
And energy is there, but the direction of the energy is your action. And then you need to reflect and all kind of things, which I call stillness. In stillness, you can get a lot of information. So I came down here. I actually, last time I was here before the pandemic, I took Ghazala, actually, which was January 2020. And I love when I took Ghazala out to this virgin land. It was like January, there was no one there, there is nothing there. There was no cars. And Ghazala first thing she was saying is like, oh my God, I just see possibilities here. Then I know, okay, this woman is my last woman.
Oh, that's awesome. And I can actually relate to that, because I don't know whether you know, but I studied in Cyprus, the other side. I was there for 4 years. So
Oh, wow.
I know Northern Cyprus, Kyrenia and Famagusta. I used to travel there. So I can relate to how
Wow.
peaceful that, you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's just quite a wonderful world, isn't it? And beautiful sunshine as well.
It is. And we are in such a beautiful spot. And what is like, because things, when we come down here, we have a third partner. His first name is the same as my Jorgen, but his name is Hansen. He's a very close friend. But I always say also this: if you want to do something, you need to be honest what you're good at, and also, more important, be honest of what you're not good at. And that has been my success in life. I make sure that I have the right kind of people around me. So with Ghazala, with this guy Jorgen Hansen, we went as on a mission, which is, I have no problem to have whole vision, but now I try to actually run after my own vision. I try to follow the expansion of the vision, because it's like we have around 350 researchers who has committed. There is 60 universities around the world where we can put, like, they are also like with us. I have minimum of 10,000 people that say, I want to move down, I want to be involved.
Yeah.
We are now 11 countries in the pipeline, and there is more countries where I haven't had the time to even have a Zoom meeting with. So I realized that the timing of this was so sharp, in the right kind of frequency, which I could never even imagine. And Ghazala knows 7 days a week, we are like 3, 4, up to 8, 7, 8 huge things we are nailing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So so I should probably stop there.
No, that's such an amazing journey, actually. And I just wanted to pause a bit of discussion with you guys, because when I listened to Ghazala's story and your story as well, there seems to be elements of some sort of challenge that kick-started the whole journey and the whole vision for you. I mean, for you, Jorgen, your chronic back pain. A lot of people who have success is some sort of challenge that people have in their life. Is that the key element to drive success? Or can people, because otherwise people just get comfortable in their zone, if they haven't faced any sort of big challenge, whether it's, a loved one passing or losing a job or some disease of some sort, people tend just to stay in their comfort zone. So how can people actually break through that without expecting to have some sort of challenge? Because I remember having someone, some other successful people as well, they had challenges as well. And they gave me a statistic that about probably 90+% of people who break through into success comes from some sort of challenge. And it always bugs me to say, do we as people have to wait for challenge in order to break through into success? What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you for that question, Alex. Yeah, you know what it is, that we are hit with challenges that makes us think again, because we do become complacent with life, and that's where a lot of the kind of situation stops some of that creativity growing for us to do something, because yes, we got this, yes, we've got that. By the way, I can hear ticking from Jorgen's.
I think Jorgen,
mute yourself, Jorgen, in there. There is some.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically, I think where, people, even when they come into spiritual space, something has drastically taken them in their physical being, in a space so low, in a space of like a shift happens. Something happens with them, because it's such an important thing that you've highlighted this, Alex, because why do we have to hurt before some change happens? Why do we have to be rock bottom before we have to rise up? But there is a pattern, because we do become complacent. It's okay. It's like people in a job. They don't do anything unless they've been sacked, or something's happened, or a personal challenge happens. But I suppose that's part of a breakdown before we make a breakthrough in life as well. But I think the other part is, what does somebody, we talk about people prioritizing things. Okay, we may not be somebody's priority. They may be ours, but we may not be theirs. And that's the other thing, is where people are. So one of the things I've been focusing more is being mindful to where other people are, where they're at, because I may be excited about something, but they're not in the right space, because timing is so crucial in people's lives. The same as when we offer opportunities to people, it may be exciting timing for us, not necessarily they're in that space. So being mindful to be in their shoes, to say, hey, hang on a minute, where are they coming from? And one of the things I've learned and I've worked on is understanding, when I pitch, propose, present anybody, I got to kind of figure out my audience, whether it's a one-to-one or hundreds and thousands of people, because we all have, the likes of the left brain, right brain thinking. How do we take information? What bit does resonate with us? What bit sits with us? What bit do we kind of pick up on it? So I think the important thing is that people need to find really where their passion lies, their inner heart space of want. In anything, Alex, as I've always said, we either have a want or a need, or both. It's not that I need more blouses or dresses. I got loads. I don't know that I need them. I've got them, but guess what? I maybe want them. So that is a want and a need. And that is somebody that maybe is needing equipment to walk with, because they cannot hold their body physically themselves well. So that becomes a need. In society, when we create a solution to a problem, so that's the two things that come in, is as a problem we've identified, we've created a solution, we've put them together. People have a want or a need, or both. So it's that part people need to ask, and I teach that often in my coaching programs and everything. People come to my fitness classes to learn Bollywood, and it's not because they're not fit. They may want to do something different. Maybe they don't need to be any more fitter, but they want to try something different. So I think the want and a need is a big thing people need to look at in their life, and also look at where can they contribute. And if they're entrepreneur people of that mindset, is what have they identified as a market need? What is current? What is on trend? What is the calling? What's the hotspot of the need out there and the want of there for people? And then jump on that, do the homework, study well, and really take it to task, but not to be complacent. People's mindset needs to grow all the time, because every day we are in a lifelong learning. I mean, Jorgen talks and I listen to his talks, and I'm like, I didn't know that part of the brain, that part of the cell, but it made you come into firing another thought out there and wiring another thought and learning that, and that's part of our growth and our journey.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Ghazala. I guess the other part of this is the role of perhaps, let's say, overwhelm, because unless people have figured out the vision and the direction that they want to go, they look at people like yourself, for example, very successful, doing well, and pursuing a particular passion and vision, but they don't in themselves know. Maybe they try and follow that and find that it's not linked to their values and what they like, and then it doesn't work, and then they find something else and so on. In the end, it can lead to overwhelm. Like there's just so much out there going on. How do I find my space in that? In that time, other people are progressing and I'm being left behind. So there can be all of that as well, because the world is fast moving. There's all sorts of things going on, and it's very easy to get up, to get caught up in the whirlwind. So I guess maybe, how can people stop and maybe think and try and unpick things so that they are in the zone that works for them?
I think the word you used, Alex, is very apt for today's society, the word overwhelm. Because we've overwhelmed our thoughts and mindset, because even on lockdown and how we interact with people, because everybody's been shut away, there is what I call re-educating, reframing, restructuring. And I think people need to realize they've also gone into a retreat, taken one step back then to forward. And I think what people need to do is take a moment away, switch the world and the noise away, and ask themselves, what makes them happy? What makes them tick? Where are they in their current space? Do they need to change it? Do they need to adjust with it? And do they need to reach out? And if so, who do they look up to that really makes them feel happy, listening to them, learning from them, and reach out to those people? And it might be a mother, a business figure, a mentor, a program somebody's watched. This is why, when we're creating this beautiful city based on sustainability, compassion, cooperation, we're creating a space on this piece of earth that it's about looking after the land, looking after the education, looking after the science and medicine, and learn from research. How do we roll it out? And what about the energy? How are we going to protect our planet? How are we going to take care of the people? We're doing something quite huge. About the word TED Talks. We're talking about NGRC Talks, Next Generation Talks, which is covering these 4 interdisciplinary areas. And we want to breathe oxygen to the communication, that people breathe energy to themselves in the environment, because the epigenetics is what helps our body DNA really to get our shit in order to really grow, develop, and become something and contribute. And people are yearning to do something special. People are yearning to be recognized, because everybody matters, Alex, and people are not being looked upon as they matter in a society of employment, in a society of workplace. Very disillusioned, disheartened people in society, because nobody cares about them. Everybody's busy trying to make their own, and feel hurt and trampled on, and hey. So for us, Jorgen and I, and some of the programs we're rolling out, is to make sure that we take care of the messaging that everybody, our neighbor, our work colleague, our business partner, our community, people are being valued, cared for, acknowledged, because somebody somewhere also wants to leave some kind of a little legacy.
Yes.
A little legacy that makes them feel like, hey, if I leave this earth, I want people to remember me for this, then I've done good. Because we thrive to do good, to support other people. And I think we need to kind of look at that. And I think everybody needs just to, any advice I would say to anybody, my suggestion would be, take a moment, take a think process for themselves, and find out how happy are they. Give themselves 1 out of 10. How happy are they in their personal life? Give them 1 out of 10. How happy am I in my career life? Get 1 to 10. How happy am I in creating a legacy? Create that little pattern and look at which numbers are low, not really doing, and 10 doing good. At the moment, I can say to you, I'm scoring on high, because there's a lot of things I'm giving back, doing, and everything that my heart wanted to. But there was a point when the numbers were hardly there. But I took action. And if people shouldn't just sit there, and I say this always, don't sit there with your fingers crossed and hope all will happen. Because as much as we can sit there and meditate and all will happen, if we don't roll the sleeves up and make it happen, it is not. So it's not, forget the fingers crossed and hope to die and hope that we'll live and hope this and hope that. Do it, but roll the sleeves up at the same time and take the action necessary. Is what do we need to do to create what we want, and who do we reach out for? Because Jorgen mentioned the circle of people around us is the big contributor to where we are in our life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, even for me, that's quite a big takeaway. And also, very importantly, what you mentioned about people being in different spaces at any particular time. So just like you say, you can be in a particular area and you talk to people about something, but in that particular moment, it's not either the right time for them or they're not in the right frame to actually pick it. So that is actually quite a good either a skill or something for people to identify in other people, so that you can relate and understand. If, for example, they don't go along with something that you're looking to help them or for them to do, you understand why. It's because they are not in a particular space at that particular time. It's been an absolute pleasure, you guys. I feel quite inspired myself as well with what's happening, and I think even for our listeners as well, when we come back on part 2, we can expand more on the communities that you're creating, and also give more information about all the various projects as well. So thank you very much for today. We'll end it there, and then I'm looking forward to catching up again with you guys next week. Yeah,
very much appreciated.
Thanks, Ghazala. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.